So, out of the box, we have the OG Goku Black, Turles. And he stands about to the tippy top of his hair. I want to say 6.5, a little bit under 6.5 inches. To the top of his forehead, 5.5 inches. Here are some quick size comparisons. Overall aesthetic is wonderful. The sculpt work is wonderfully done. The muscles look amazing. He has thighs that will make a Mr. Olympia contestant blush. Oh my! In addition to that, the thighs have a slightly satin finish to them, but it's not that big of a deal. Just something to point out. The rest of his skin tone is matte. Now, if we go down a little bit further to his knees, it looks like the sun airballed and completely missed his knees. That is to say, his knees are noticeably lighter than the rest of his skin tone. But, is it a deal breaker? No, just something that I would say is something worth pointing out. The hair on Turles is sculpted very sharply, more akin to how the modern Dragon Ball Z hair is drawn. While in the Tree of Might movie, you know, he had the more softer look to the hair, because that's just how it was drawn back then. Everything else on the figure looks really nice. The fur texture on his tail, well done. A little bit of a wash could have really brought out that texture, and that I would say is the main weakness of this figure, and it's the main weakness of a lot of Dragon Ball figures as of late. All modern Dragon Ball figures in general with S.H.Figuarts, because what they do is, I think after the engineering got more advanced, I feel like we saw less paint. Now, is that with every figure? No, but something that I've noticed. With that being said, let's move forward. Kicking it off with the faces, he has a smirking face, a yelling face, a gritting teeth face, and a face that looks like he's about to eat some meow, 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 meow. Which leads me into the next set of accessories. Now, we know that Turles is a diet over exercise type of Saiyan, which leads us to the next accessory. He comes with a hand with a red durian in it, aka a fruit of the Tree of Might, which goes perfectly with that face that looks like it was eating meow meow. But moving on to the rest of the hands, they're pretty standard. You get a couple of fist hands, open palm hands, grabby hands, and another set of open palm hands with a peg hole in it for his next accessory.
Hey Kakarot, yeah? You hungry?
Sure, have a donut! Okay, so as you can see, Turles also comes with his Kill Driver energy effect, and the way you use it is you take the hands that had the peg hole in it, and what they gave you in the packaging is this clear rod, 2 clear rods. You can plug either one of these clear rods into the center of the lightning portion of the energy effect, and of course you plug that into the hand, and voila, you have him shooting his Killer Driver effect. Well, his last bit of accessories, he comes with the cross arm accessory, which is nice, but on the right side, like, for whatever reason, they got his fingers showing, and I don't know, something about it doesn't make sense. I think they just should have just went with the hands tucked under his arm look. But either way, besides the arms crossed, he comes with his titular cape, or I guess cloak rather, from the movie. And one thing about this cape, it's a very soft material and it fits on very nicely. I'm just unsure whether the cape actually has shading or if it's just the shadows and whatnot bouncing off. It looks like it could be a very subtle shading, but I'm really unsure. But with that being said, that's all the accessories. Now on to articulation. Okay, so real quick, I just wanted to run these clips. And these clips is basically going to include, sorry for that buffer. Damn, Piccolo, right idea. But energy effects I would have liked for Turles to have, like this one big purple. Damn, right idea, wrong caliber, Piccolo. And then we have this. Watch this, watch this. You see this? Oh, you know when they face go through the spaghettification, it's a wrap. But that spaghettification kind of stretched out face would have been potentially a cool accessory for Turles to come with. And we got one more. Now we could have a Ki Blast Mirage dumping out the whole clip on poor Goku. But if we could have had like some type of Mirage Ki Blast effect, I don't know how they would do it, but that would have been really cool too. But these are things that they didn't need to include. This stuff that would have been, you know, cool to have. So this will be the only talking part of this portion of the articulation segment. But the shoulder pads, once again, Tamashii is overthinking the articulation. You guys have already, and by you guys I mean Tamashii, you guys have already done these shoulder pads wonderfully with Broly. Just continue the Super Saiyan Broly, and I'll post a picture of it on the screen as I talk about it. But you guys already did this shoulder pad technology well. All y'all have to do is implement it from Broly to Turles. But it's this idea of seemingly having to reinvent the wheel every time. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You guys overthink the articulation a lot sometimes. And I say that to say, these shoulder pads work fine enough, but they have a tendency to pop out where, and it's not super often, but with Broly that never happened. Turles can kinda sorta get 360 movement going around, but as you can see, that shoulder pad can kinda get in the way. So you're gonna be bumping into it. So, in closing this thing out, is Turles worth getting? Well, let's go to the scouter. First of all, I have to say, accessories, it comes with a nice variety of accessories, and I think it's a solid 9 out of 10. Aesthetic, I want to go 9 out of 10, but the shading, I had to bump it down to 8.5 out of 10. Articulation, I'm gonna give it, I feel like it's good, but it could be even better. I want to go, I'm stuck somewhere between an 8 and an 8.5 out of 10. So I'll be generous since I really like the figure. 8.5 out of 10. Now with that being said, is the figure worth getting? Absolutely. Now the only thing is, of course, you're gonna have to pay secondary market prices. Now the good thing about this figure is, unlike some of the other reviews I've done in the past, this figure is still fairly fresh. It came out in February, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm a little bit late, a lot of bit late with it now that I think about it. I'm thinking it's still March or something. It's about to be, May, like next week. So with that being said, definitely a figure you should pick up. Now, in terms of paying these exorbitant prices, it's going to be tricky. You're going to end up having to pay some exorbitant prices. Like, don't spend, like, you may have to spend like $150, $125 on it. If you could avoid spending like something exorbitant like $200, because $125 and $150 is already expensive for a figure, but we understand that it's a premium Bandai and it's a limited run type of figure, so that's why it's going to cost that much. So I would say definitely a great figure. Don't break the bank trying to get this figure, you know, but if you got it like that, hey, definitely pick them up. But until next time, BombasticPlastic out.